Patrol, the Dino movie. I don't know about you, but I feel like I entered into an awkward scenario. No, it's not the fact that I'm a childless millennial going to see another Paw Patrol movie to make a video review about the feature. I mean, we're at film number 3 now. I'll be running that joke to the ground if I keep using that for every time Paw Patrol comes out with a new movie. But it's more the fact that I'm going to see a new animated feature released by Paramount that is based on one of their biggest IPs from their Nickelodeon brand, and it's not Avatar: Aang the Last Airbender, because all of that fanfare and work by the animators are apparently only good enough for Paramount+. Sure, I don't think it's the best movie of the year, but I would have preferred to see Aang on the big screen instead of puppies trying to sell me toys.
We are so not prepared!
But since it's the dogs who ultimately got the theatrical treatment, they're heading towards a new direction with their third feature by going from having superpowers to teaming up with dinosaurs. I'll admit that I'm not coming in with high expectations here, especially when the last one with the Mighty Movie came out what you'd expect from Paw Patrol. There were some well-made components like the animation and the action, but it doesn't aim to be anything more than to be entertainment for younger audiences. It's fine for what it is, and I have nothing against it. It's just that I'm obviously too old for that kind of movie by a wide margin.
How about the Paw Patrol? But more! With just a little bit extra.
Yeesh. But now that dinosaurs are roaming the Paw Patrol world, will this come out as big as the pups' new allies? Or will I have a bone to pick with this movie? Let's find out. The story. No time to explain what happened since the last film. The Dino movie cuts straight to the chase and throws the Paw Patrol into being stranded on an island filled with dinosaurs. But thankfully, since this is a children's film, these dinos are a lot more friendly and safer to bring archaeologists to do all the research they want. However, with Humdinger not far to cause trouble and steal some diamonds on the island, there's always going to be some rescuing to do. And there's no dinosaur too big for the Paw Patrol to handle.
Whatever this island throws at us,
Yeah!
we'll be prepared.
Yes, since this is a kiddie flick, it should come as no surprise that the story itself is pretty basic so that the youngest viewers are able to follow along. And like I said before, this doesn't waste time to jump straight into what people want to see from this, with the Paw Patrol doing what they do best, now with dinosaurs into the mix. In a way, it has a snappy attitude with moving the plot forward and leave no room for any explanations that would add some sense to these events, with a few exceptions like Marshall and Rex. I mean, it's aware that this is a movie with rescuing talking puppies that are on an island of dinosaurs. Don't expect to reason how it went from being a lost world that's not on any map to everyone suddenly able to come in like it's the latest tourist attraction. Just take it and move on.
That would never happen at the museum.
Also, now that we're in the third one, the patterns for these Paw Patrol movies are starting to become noticeable. They have a formula that includes showing off the team's new gear as the hot new toys to go and collect, comedy that's only fresh for the little ones so that they can have a cute laugh now and then.
Best friends forever. Oh, ow. Okay, stop, never mind.
And the most prominent being that it puts one of the pups center stage so that they overcome their insecurity and highlight what makes them an important member of the team. For the Dino movie, Marshall takes the lead as he comes in terms with how he is clumsy and delivers a heartfelt message about how it's okay to make mistakes, and what's more important is to never give up afterwards. As nice as that is to provide some good substance, that doesn't come up at all until the second half of the feature, and only becomes an important part of the film by the third act. Sure, I get that it can only focus on one thing at a time for the kids, and a lot of that is covered by the dinosaurs themselves, but it is noticeable that it sidelines the heart for a good while.
Run! I am ready! I'm a bulldog! This is as fast as I can go!
I do agree that it doesn't try to be anything more than to be a Paw Patrol movie. But I would lie if I said that this fails as a Dino movie. Even with its kiddie tone and a basic plot about being on an island of dinosaurs, this actually understands what makes those types of features enjoyable to watch throughout the decades. One thing that it was able to get right is the sense of wonder. To give the audience time to immerse themselves in a massive world where dinosaurs exist, and watch as how the giant prehistoric creatures interact with modern times now introduced in their territory. That, and it also presents the dangers that come with it. Maybe not with threatening predators, but with other problems that come with their new environment, like large stampedes, an active volcano, and of course, the Paw Patrol doing their usual rescue work, but now to save dinosaurs. I'll get more into this soon, but I'll say now that they can actually be effective to make the feature more engaging with the action going on. And shockingly, it's able to pull it off better than a good amount of movies out there. Seriously, even as an adult, there are moments where it grabbed my attention with how perilous things can get.
Take this moment.
As a Paw Patrol movie, the story comes with a lot of what you'd expect from them, where it doesn't hide that it's made for children. For the most part, it's a predictable dinosaur movie with not much that is original. But I can't deny that the execution does make it kind of work. It's as if the filmmakers studied Jurassic Park and were able to replicate what made that film beloved and timeless in a way that fits with the Paw Patrol brand. I wouldn't call this the best way of doing it, but this is a noble effort that's worth giving the story a 6 out of 10. It only stuck with the basics, but at least it got the basics right for the pups. The animation. When you have a movie based on a preschool show, you don't expect to get the highest quality of animation or anything that would feel like a big budgeted blockbuster. And when it comes to Paw Patrol the Dino movie, there are a few noticeable limitations that come with it. This is mainly in regards to the concepts that they deliver. Like the story, you won't find a lot that is creatively new with this island of dinosaurs. Not saying that it's all completely unoriginal, but for the most part, it's the standard stuff with this jungle-like island that is inhabited by the more familiar dinosaurs that the younger viewers can recognize. In fact, what makes this Dino Island distinct from other movies is how they made this kid-friendly, especially with the designs of the dinosaurs themselves.
Dino Island is the greatest discovery in the world.
This movie makes it very clear that there is no dino that is considered a threat to anyone. Even with the more carnivorous types like the T-Rex, their features are more rounded and given big cutesy eyes to make their style fit within the Paw Patrol world. Their goal is to look appealing and approachable to children, and in that regards, I think the kids will like it and some of their antics that they get into with the pups.
What was that? It's my stomach. Those baby dinosaurs ate all my pup treats.
Technically, some could say that there are some creatively new things that the designs have delivered, and that is with the dog's new equipment and vehicles. Yes, I did mention that the film frames them like toy commercials, since that is part of the Dino movie's goal, but I have to admit that it knows how to do so in a pretty cool way. On top of having a dino theme built for big rescue missions, they also have vibrant colors that match the characters and pop out from the more natural palette of the island and its prehistoric inhabitants. Not to mention how they effectively present their abilities and accessories during the action scenes to show how they can be useful during the rescues.
We've got an island saved.
But just like with the story, what the film may lack in concept, it makes up for it in execution. The appeal of the island is not through its uniqueness, but from its sheer size, and the movie knows how to make the place feel big. The same goes with the dinosaurs themselves. In both scale and numbers, there is a good variety of different species featured to feel like that there is so much to explore in the island, and that it feels like its own living ecosystem. This is where it's able to get that vibe of Jurassic Park by making the film feel like a moment where you could be alongside the dinosaurs. But also, to be fair, I will give it one thing that is creatively cool. It mainly shows up in one scene, but I do like what they did with Rex's treehouse. The amount of detail and elaborate contraptions made out of wood put into this is actually very impressive with how it is built as both a functional and livable place, along with being accessible to Rex's wheelchair.
Welcome to my home sweet home. Whoa! It doesn't have a big screen TV or Wi-Fi.
But then you have the action scenes. While the pups were in no danger of being eaten by a dino, that doesn't mean that they weren't put in life-threatening situations. Now with the combination of dinosaurs, it is able to bring that larger size onto those moments to make the danger feel more intense. Even as a preschool movie, it doesn't shy away from highlighting the perils within and show how there is a real chance that the dogs won't come out of this alive. Combine that with strong pacing to keep things interesting throughout, and the result gives the action the ability to have both kids and even adults on the edge of their seats to watch these situations where the entire island is potentially in jeopardy. And it even builds up as it progresses until it goes all out during the climax.
That's a volcano! You're going to destroy the island!
The Dino movie may not be the kind of feature that can impress people with its style or creative use of the medium, but even for a grown cartoon-loving man like me, I do admire the craftsmanship put onto the animation. It is able to capture the scale and wonder of being in an island filled with dinosaurs, make the action feel exhilarating and highly engaging, and present how the pups are well equipped for the job. At least visually, it exceeds what you'd expect from a Paw Patrol movie, and that's why I'm giving the animation a 9 out of 10. It may look like an ordinary dinosaur movie, but it's a great looking ordinary dinosaur movie. The characters. I know that I've been putting up a theme of how the movie is better than what it seems throughout this review, but this is where it reached its limit because there isn't a lot that this does with its characters. As much as it wants to show off all of the dinosaurs in the action, there's not much room for its cast to present their personalities or even make an impact with their roles. And yes, just like with the previous Paw Patrol movies, the film does have a large list of celebrity voices. Even if I was a little optimistic before seeing this because there's no Kim Kardashian poodle, thank goodness, I was then concerned because the movie starts off with the puppies rescuing Snoop Dogg and Paris Hilton. And yes, it is as cringy as it sounds.
In the movie, our family is rescued by the Paw Patrol.
Stay cool, little doggies.
And they even save our cat.
Thankfully, that was the only weird part. And I'll even add that the rest of the celebrities did well where their voices aren't too distracting. There are even some, like Terry Crews and Fortune Feimster, who sound like they were having fun with their performance and help make their characters a bit enjoyable.
That one's Marshall. He's my favorite.
But as we take a look at the more notable characters, first we have the Dino movie's top dog, Marshall. While he's always been one of the main comic reliefs with his clumsiness, he doesn't seem much as a laughing matter this time. In fact, he feels like it's the one thing that's holding him back from doing his part in the Paw Patrol. However, what he does have to make up for it is his perseverance, where no matter how many times he screws up, he never gives up until he gets the job done, highlighting the film's main message.
No dino's too big, no pups too small.
I can do this.
I'll give it credit that it's a great arc for Marshall, but like I said, his leading role doesn't happen until much later in the feature. Before that happens, he just gets more screen time than the others while still just being a member of the Paw Patrol. It would have helped if he felt insecure about his clumsiness earlier in the film, but then again, the dinosaurs do get higher priority, so better late than never, I guess.
He's clumsy. He's funny.
Marshall.
I'm okay. Go long.
Speaking of which, he does befriend a baby T-Rex named Rhubarb, who is more like the movie's MacGuffin that the Dalmatian is always concerned about his safety, but also has a minor arc of his own where he has to learn how to do a good roar.
Come on, Rhubarb! It's up to us! Yeah, Marshall! Ah!
Then there is Rex, the wheelchair-bound puppy replacing the city dog Liberty, who was stranded on the island for 2.5 years, but has made the place his home and has become the main dino expert for the Paw Patrol. His role is primarily to motivate Marshall with his outgoing and optimistic attitude to never give up and not to feel bad about his mistakes, especially when he had his own that helped him grow.
We're both athletic, smart, and creative.
As for the villains, well, they're villains. You could tell that they're evil with how they love to exaggeratingly pollute wherever they go. And you cannot be more straightforward as a villain than Humdinger, whose greed drives him to get the diamonds on the island without caring about anything else. The new twist with him is that he got 2 new assistants aiding his mission, including Harper, the hunting expert, and Alistair, the explosives guy.
Let's get this party started!
As for the rest, it's a matter of quantity over quality, where you got the Paw Patrol as the heroes, with Rubble standing out as the comic relief, and the other archaeologists studying the newfound island who call for help when there's a rescue that the team has to do. With all these characters crammed into this, only a selected few are lucky to have some form of development. The rest are just flat with their personalities, and sometimes hardly have a role that feels like it matters to the story. I'll give the film that there's no one I hate in this, and I understand that you can't have complex depth because then the toddlers won't understand it, but I do feel like there could be better ways to handle these materials, even if they're simple. I won't be too critical with this, but I'll give the characters a 5 out of 10. Even for the things it does well, there are others that come out exactly what you'd expect from a children's movie like this. Is this movie mainly for preschoolers? Absolutely, there is no denying that. But I honestly gotta give it respect for the effort of making quality entertainment with it. Paw Patrol the Dino Movie is not only a fun animated feature that could be the child's first dinosaur film, but it's also a pretty good movie on its own. Sure, this is by no means something you'd find among the best movies of the year, especially when it does have those kiddie flick tropes like the basic story, flat characters, and comedy that's exclusively for children. But there are some things about it that grown-ups can also enjoy, like the immersive world of dinosaurs, the impressively grand animation, and the surprisingly intense action. Again, I'm not gonna go and call this one of the best of anything, but I will say that I honestly think that this is better than the Jurassic World movies. Sure, Paw Patrol is also trying to be like Jurassic Park with this, but unlike World, at least it doesn't expect me to take this as seriously as if it were actually Jurassic Park.
You just went and made a new dinosaur?
Probably not a good idea.
If you have a kid who is a fan of Paw Patrol and/or dinosaurs, I definitely recommend to bring them to see this. It's a nice child-friendly alternative if the end of Oak Street is too much for them. Or worse, got terrified of those AI dogs talking about the film. I know it's not the movie's fault for that, but those dogs would scare anybody away from watching it. And if you enjoyed this review, then give this a like and come subscribe to my channel. You can also support me on my Patreon and get some dino-sized rewards like seeing my videos before anyone else. I'm not gonna blame people if they chose to pass on this. I mean, if you're watching this review, you may already be older than the movie's target demographic, but as a critic, I gotta give credit to where credit is due and say that Paw Patrol knows how to have fun with big dinos on a bigger screen.